Analysts are calling this morning's job report the best that we've seen in 3 years. Unemployment dropping to below 9%, and nearly 200,000 jobs were created along the way. The figures will hopefully translate into more hiring and investing. But will it? Congresswoman Chellie Pingree is a freshman representative, serves on the House Armed Services and the House Rules Committee. And thank you for joining us today, Congresswoman. Let's start with your state, Maine. The unemployment rate there, a great 7.5%. This from December 2010, lower than even the great numbers we got today. So we have to ask you, what is working so well there in Maine?
Well, that's a very good question, but I think we have a lot of hardworking people who have been very entrepreneurial, attempting to do everything they can, and a lot of employers who've done their best to keep people working. That said, we're struggling here in our state. We've lost a lot of our manufacturing businesses, and we're trying to find ways to replace it. Frankly, much of the money that we invested through the Stimulus Act was helpful to our state. We're investing in renewable energy like wind power, upgrades in our infrastructure like roads and bridges, and I think a lot of that was a big help to our state in moving forward during this difficult time.
Now, as you're doing well there in your state, lawmakers are responding, including yourself, and I'll start with Senator Leader Harry Reid, who said, to keep our economy moving, Republicans should work with us to quickly pass a long-term budget. Then there's Speaker John Boehner, who responded to the numbers that came out today, saying, quote, the path to prosperity here and job creation lies in liberating our economy from the shackles of excessive government, end quote. So how does this report that we're getting, these good numbers, affect the budget debate, which they're alluding to, that's going on the Hill?
Well, as you know, it's a very contentious debate, and no one likes the shackles of useless government. But on the other hand, a lot of what we're talking about is continuing the investment going so that we can compete with other countries and so we can move our economy forward. Independent studies have shown that if our budget passed, the one that passed in the House, I didn't vote for it, that would be a cost of 700,000 jobs, some things we can't sustain right now. Goldman Sachs just recently said that this new budget would cost a 1 to 2% drop in the economy. So we have to find a way to cut the deficit, to be thoughtful in our spending, but not to cut back on investments and education and those things that really do help our businesses and help us to move forward.
Congresswoman, I want to switch gears here to something that's near and dear to your heart. It's a bill to help veteran victims of rape, to make it easier for victims to get benefits. And I want to start with some statistics that may be shocking to some people that they did not know about. In 2010, 3,000 plus reported sexual assaults are out there. Only 10% of sexual attacks actually reported. So just with those two numbers themselves, that means that we're talking at tens of thousands of potential sexual assaults that are out there. Tell us about the bill that you're forwarding.
Well, we're trying to make it easier for women and others, women and men, who were exposed to sexual trauma to get coverage and benefits that they need when they experience PTSD. As you showed, there's a large number of people who experience sexual trauma in the military. Many of them are women, and we are increasingly asking women to serve in the military. But it's often very hard to prove. It's a protracted battle at many times in getting agreement on that or going through the legal process. And I've met with women who have developed PTSD, who are unable to work. This has ruined their lives. They're no longer in the military, or they're still attempting to serve under very difficult conditions. We changed the laws in 2010 to make it easier for victims of PTSD who serve in combat to get the service-connected benefits that they need. We just want to say, let's make it possible for women and others who suffer from MST to also get the service-connected benefits that they need, and that's what this law would do.
Okay. Congresswoman Chellie Pingree from Maine, thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely. Thank you.